Tupac is just a poet. Feel me? Like Biggie's just a beast.
That's a great question though, because it's really like a apples and oranges thing. That's exactly what happened to Dad.
Yeah.
Is that it? That's the clap right there.
That is the clap.
All right.
Wait, you have
yeah.
both of them.
I hope
already
I'm in it. All right, let me just make sure I'm in it.
Oh, I got you.
No, like I'm sure I'm pretty good. Like he already checked.
That shit is you're so close to that one. It's pretty funny. Yeah.
This is like just my face.
But
well, if he wants to cut,
you take
right?
up like majority of that one.
All right.
Wait, let me see.
Yeah. All right. So is it already clapped?
Wait. What are we gonna go into first?
Music.
Well, we're already on that topic, so.
Okay. We're gonna talk about who our favorite artists are, and then we'll all argue about who's actually the best. But who do you think?
That.
My favorite artist?
That's such a tough
musical
question,
artist.
Man. Yeah. Okay, let's just get into it.
Let's first do our introduction. You guys could do that.
All right. So, All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to SpitBall Podcast. It's episode 3, and potentially 4. It's just gonna be a mixture of a lot of things on this episode. We want to try to mix things up, appeal to a lot of different topics and different audiences, what other people want to hear about. We're not gonna be as sports heavy as we have in past episodes. We're gonna try to just branch out and talk about a little more of a mixed things. As always, I'm Ant.
I'm Nick.
This is the man behind the scenes,
Jacob.
JRC, right there.
Instagram right here.
So, yeah, we just decided we're going to talk about a lot of different things today. And off camera, we were talking about music and like pop culture stuff. So we figured it would be better to just hop on and carry that conversation over, because we were talking about like rappers and just our favorite artists and stuff like that. The other day, him and I were arguing with some other people about like where rap is today and today's generation of rap compared to old school rap and whatever. So we're just gonna carry that over. So what do you guys want to start with then?
All right, we're gonna go right into our favorite artists, and I guess why they are our favorite artists. Artisans. So, all right, my favorite.
This is any genre, or
I would say any. Well, I feel like all the genres are the same.
Yeah, our favorite. I mean,
our favorite artists are in the same genre.
Not necessarily. I don't know, but I don't really.
I mean, what are you about to say? Fucking AC/DC's your favorite fucking group? Because if you're gonna do that, then we're gonna have to fucking separate it.
No. I'm pretty sure all of our favorite genres are hip hop.
Yes.
Right. But okay, yeah.
We're gonna cover the hip hop category. Hip hop.
It's just such a big question, though. Like
it is.
I don't like to put it.
Everybody in the comments, what's your favorite musical artist?
Word, let us know.
Why?
Let us know, for real.
We're gonna say ours.
Okay, go ahead.
All right,
let me think.
Kanye West.
Okay.
That man. Look, we have his album right here. Kanye is the GOAT. When you talk about hip hop and what hip hop is, he's covered all of it. For the most part, he's done multiple raps. He does slow hip hop. He does hip hop that just hasn't even been done before.
He sings, yeah.
He covers everything, and I'm not gonna say that he is the best at each one, but he's damn near close to being the best at each one that he's done.
That's fair.
He's done a lot as well. He's also changed hip hop, I would say.
Yeah, no doubt.
Recently.
For sure. Yeah. He's one of those artists that like just culture in general follows him, because look at the way people dress. The people go crazy over Yeezys. It used to just be when I was like in middle school and stuff. It was just Jordans. And then
it was the basketball players.
Yeah,
it was the basketball players.
He had the Nike Yeezys, but that was like one thing. They were kind of overpriced, and now like shoes are like, I noticed brands are kind of starting to put higher price tags on their shoes and competing with like that luxury kind of price tag thing of like the Yeezy. Like Kanye kind of shifted culture like that.
Fashion icon.
Yeah, they started signing a lot more art. Like Travis Scott is now with Nike.
Yeah, so it's
he's constantly breaking the mold with music and even fashion. Like
he's one of those dudes. Like he's not just like a rapper. I never even considered him to be like a rapper. He's more like in that artist group, I guess, but
that's why I would have to agree. He's my favorite hip hop artist, but just like you said, he's not the best rapper. He's not. I don't even think he's the best producer, but
Right.
he's definitely one of the best in every category.
Uh-huh.
And I fucking like just turned on. Turn that back on.
Okay, guys, we ran into a little bit of technical difficulties. As you can see, the light has probably changed.
Un momento, mommy, slow your tempo.
Oh, yo, could we enter like a SpongeBob thing here?
What?
Oh, like 10 minutes later.
Like
Oh,
1
okay.
year later or some shit like that?
Like 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds later, whatever the fuck it is. We could do one of those?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
2,000 years till 6.5 hours later.
Yo, can you,
here
just,
we
can you like, during this? Alright, yeah, we're back, but, can you just, can you put, like, a picture of Gary Coleman, like, right here right now?
Yeah, he's already there.
Alright, Gary Coleman's there for you guys.
Coleman?
Gary Coleman,
Why
why
did you
not?
think about Gary Coleman?
Because why not?
But why though?
Do you know who Gary Coleman is?
I know who Gary Coleman is.
Funny guy.
Yeah.
Alright, back to the podcast. Let's do it.
Okay, so now Kanye, he's my favorite hip hop artist, but he's definitely not the best rapper. I think he's one of them just because his voice and his whole style is iconic, even though he doesn't write all of his stuff. That's becoming less and less important nowadays.
Yeah.
Back then-
that doesn't mean much to me.
No, yeah.
That he doesn't. I don't know how.
It shouldn't mean
I
much.
disagree.
Back then, I think it does mean something for him in his case because he claimed to actually write a lot of his stuff
Yeah.
without giving the proper people credit.
Right.
Yeah.
And then later on, but like if he had started off saying, you know, I didn't write this, I didn't write that, then that would have been fine.
Mhm.
But it became less forgivable.
Well, I don't hold it against Kanye because he's so versatile and talented in so many other ways that, like, if he needs help writing or whatever, I can give him a pass because he produces all his music. He produces music for so many other people. His concepts are off the charts. You know what I'm saying? But for rappers to not write their own stuff, that bothers me. That's always bothered me. I just feel, and I know that everyone gives writing credits out and they need help and draw inspiration from other people. But like, if you don't write your songs at all, I cannot respect you as much.
It would bother
cannot.
me if they don't write it like at all.
I
Like
can't.
if you don't have a single say or like
Right.
if you don't just give
And
input or
like,
stuff
if
like
you're
that.
not
Okay.
one of those
Okay,
people
yeah, I
that,
can
if you're
see
not
that.
one of those people that, like, you know, takes pride in that as an artist, if you're an artist that is just like, yeah, whatever, this is what I do. I don't write it, but I perform it. I bring this to the table, that's to the table, but I can't write my songs, whatever. If you own up to it, like, sure, whatever, you know? Because a lot of people don't care anyway. The songs sell.
Yeah.
But when you start to compare yourself to artists who made it to that same level as you, but they did it
So
writing
for-
all their
All by
stuff.
themselves.
For underground rappers and stuff like that, like
Right.
for like a Little Pump, you know, for example,
I mean,
it
don't-
doesn't matter.
It don't take much to write his music, though.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, but like for bigger, like if it came out, Little Pump has not written one of his songs, you're probably not gonna care.
I'm not going to be surprised.
I'm
Yeah,
not
you know,
surprised.
Okay, but if it comes out that
Well, no,
Jay-Z
but that's
has
fine,
never
though.
written one of his songs, that's top
It's
news.
different though.
That's
It's different
that's-
levels because it's at this point it's different. It's a whole different genre in my opinion, at least. It's like a whole new age kind
Definitely.
of genre, like
Yeah.
branch out kind of thing. It can't even just be all.
That's what I've
hip-hop.
been trying to say. Like trap music and stuff like that deserves to be in a different category than
Yeah, I
hip hop,
think-
than true hip hop.
I think comparing it to old school stuff and like just the contemporary like new hip like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole and stuff, like that's not even doing it a service because it has its own lane and does
Yeah.
what it's supposed to do.
But so what falls under the old school then?
Well, the old school. when
'cause
I say old school,
old
I'm
school
just
is
referring
like
to
90s,
yeah. When I
early
say old school, I
2000s.
actually mean like the older music, like you know, like the
So are we talking about like we're talking about like prime Jay-Z, prime Kanye?
yeah.
like,
I'm
back
talking about
then.
just actual time periods and eras and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about dudes who have old school styles. I don't even think there's an old
I don't think
school
there's
style
many
at
people
all.
old school style anymore, except maybe Joey Badass, but he doesn't do that anymore.
I don't think there's an old school style. I think there's just a normal way of going about
Well,
hip
no-
hop, the way it came
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
And then there's dudes who do it the new way, which is like, in my opinion, it's kind of lazy. But like I said, it has its own lane and it does what it has to do, which is something different than what was asked of artists back in the day. And so that's if like Cardi B won an award like a week ago, Songwriter of the Year. She admitted openly she doesn't write her own songs. You can see it in the songwriting credits. Her name is not there. So
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
like that's ironic. In my opinion, I think that's a robbery. It should go to someone who took time and hours and drafts upon drafts of writing their music. They should get something like that. When it goes to Song of the Year, I don't care. You know, like if that song blows up, she didn't write it, she performed it, fine. She deserves that. Her voice made the song.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if she's winning songwriter awards and stuff like that and getting praised as a songwriter, that's not right. To me, I just don't think it's right.
Yeah.
But but I can't hold it against Kanye, like I said, because sure, like the songs will still be great. even if he wrote them himself, they wouldn't be as lyrically great. But the production, like I said, the concepts, and you know the way they go with the other songs.
That's a big criticism for a lot of his songs. Like Stronger on this album, the lyrics aren't that good.
They're not. Yeah.
But it sounds amazing.
Yeah. So I can make that pass for him. And there's artists like I said who either copied or drew inspiration from other artists, and it's not that
from
serious.
Kanye,
but
a lot of people draw inspiration
from Kanye,
from Kanye,
especially
one of the most influential of all time.
So I think if two artists are on the same level of success, this is the argument I always use for Kendrick as being the best rapper out today.
So that's okay. So Kanye.
All right. So I don't want to be that guy, but like it's hard for me to say I have a favorite artist like of all genres because I don't feel comfortable like awarding that title to somebody because like I just listen to so much music that it's hard. I feel like I'm lying to myself if I say that. Like Kanye, like I have a group of people who like my favorite all time artists, but I guess Kanye. But at the same time, I listen to a lot of like Kendrick Lamar. I listen to a lot of older artists. Like Tribe Called Quest is like my favorite hip hop group ever. So like I listen to their music as much as I listen to Kanye West. So like it's hard for me to really say who my favorite artist is. In hip hop, I would probably say Kendrick because I probably listen to him more than anybody. But for me to say like that's my favorite artist, all genres, is like I would need to take time and really like think about that. But when it comes to like rap, is Kendrick at this point it's Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, for sure.
See, when it comes to me, I'm huge on stories. Okay. So I love a person's story.
Okay.
Even when it comes to sports, I love the guy who Adam Thielen. Okay. Guy who wasn't supposed to be there.
Okay.
You know, no one ever thought. And I feel like when you look at all these rappers, it's the guy who grew up in the projects, who was trapping, who was just trying to make money, and he just blew up making music. And Kanye was none of that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Kanye was the guy who his mom, what was his mom, a doctor, moved over to Chicago, started producing, went to college, dropped out. His mom got mad at him. He went over to New York, tried to get big. No one took him serious. So, you know, that's a guy who no one thought should be there, and he had to just prove everyone wrong. And I love that kind of story. So with me, when it just comes to whoever, if you have some type of like Little Dicky, fucking what the hell is he doing?
Whoa.
You know, he's a white fucking Jewish guy that makes comedy rap, but I love him when he drops a song. I love him.
Very
you know,
for sure. Yeah. As far as the stories go, I mean, Kanye has a great story. I mean, it's an inspirational story the way that he came up because at first he wasn't even a rapper at all. He was just a producer.
He was just a producer.
He made beats for people. Well, he did rap, or there's videos you could go like from the 90s, early 2000s where he does like poetry that turned into some of his songs on the College Dropout, Late Registration. Yeah. But yeah, he didn't originally start out as a rapper. So that's a good story.
Who was what's the company that has Jay-Z?
Rockefeller?
Well, it's his company.
Yeah, but what was like is that because Blueprint was under what record?
Probably Rockefeller.
Yeah, Rockefeller.
Because
all of his
when Kanye was
signed to Rockefeller,
when he was trying to get signed, Rockefeller didn't want to sign him originally.
Yeah.
But then they realized that if they don't sign him, he's not going to make music for them anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, like he says it all in the last call on College Dropout, the whole story.
Yeah.
Of like how it's a one-sided thing. Like he had to, like you said, he had to prove himself. But I was waiting to see where you went with the whole story thing because if you're talking about storytelling, that's a whole other thing.
That's why I thought you were
Kendrick Lamar.
I thought that's what you were
one of the greatest storytellers there is.
In his music.
In his music.
In terms of background for actual people who came up and became something like in hip hop, I don't think Kanye even has the best story. I would look more towards someone like Tupac has a great story. I don't at all consider him like one of my. I mean, he's an icon, great rapper, but he's not like my favorite artist of all time. I love him. I got the shirt on. But he started as a backup dancer for Digital Underground, which is a group in like the 90s, and then they featured him on one of their songs, and people went so crazy for it in the crowd and stuff that he ended up writing his own music, doing his own music, and obviously he became a million times more famous in Digital Underground. So that's a great story.
I mean, even look at Biggie has a great story.
All these, Jay-Z was selling crack until he was 25.
If you don't have a great story, then your lyrics that talk about those stories don't have any weight to it. Right. That's why Jay-Z is so renowned.
Which is my problem with today's artists, because I feel like your inspiration comes from within you more than anything else. And when you're just rapping about anything, first of all, stuff that you didn't live through or stuff that has no substance, I just feel like...
So 6ix9ine bothers you?
Like I said, I think it has its own lane, but he doesn't rap about anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't rap about anything.
But he's someone who owns up to it, though.
No,
when he did the interview with the Breakfast Club...
That's why I can't really hate on him.
Yeah.
Like, he said it, like, I just say this and that, and people love it. Like, cool. Like, if you can capitalize on that market, do your thing. But he doesn't ever... The only time he ever says... He'll never say, like, well, I'm better than this person. He says it, like, to troll people and to get publicity. He doesn't actually believe that. And I'm aware of that. He's aware of that. Like, it's not...
I disagree with what you just said. If you're, if you want to earn success that way and it's easy...
Well, I don't necessarily respect it.
I don't... Yeah, well...
But if that's what if you end up doing that and people get on your bandwagon, like, I can't really fault you for that either. At the end of the day... At the end of the day... People are just, people do it as a job and they're trying to make a living and trying to get the best life for themselves. So whatever works for you. But when it comes to me comparing you to people based off quality or like your legacy as an artist or your creativity or what makes you an artist, I'm not going to put him in the same conversation as I would Kendrick Lamar or Jay-Z or Kanye West or anyone like that. Like, that's not even, there's no point.
Yeah, like, those people are bound to exist either way.
Yeah.
But I just don't like it. Like, I follow the same old principles. Like, if you're not about it, don't talk about it. Yeah. It's like, well, rap is about the inner truth, like the truth down the authenticity. Yeah. Like, people will realize that in the lyrics. Jay-Z doesn't write his lyrics. He thinks about them and remembers the entire verses. Yeah. And stores them in his mind and then spits them, but they're all truthful, and you could tell. Yeah. And he has so much.
I mean, when you can talk about things over and over and over again and make them sound original, that's how you know someone really like experienced something or it's coming from deep within inside them. But like when there's people that are just like 6ix9ine, and he has good songs. He has songs that I like. He has songs that I hate. But you can't remember lyric off the top of your head right now. You probably can't remember many lyrics, and if you can, it's just because it's some like silly shit. Like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like
that's it.
Come on, So, back to the original topic.
What I want to talk about is what this guy said off camera.
That's where
about
I was
Kendrick
going.
Lamar.
I was just about to go there because I said, well, obviously my favorite rapper is Kendrick because I've been following him since he came. Well, not since he came out, but since he started blowing up around like 2011-12 when he dropped Section 80. And then Good Kid, Mad City, which was at the time like a crazy album for me. And then every album since then has just been like so
actually, I want to say this about Kendrick. The first thing I heard from Kendrick was To Pimp a Butterfly, and I did not like it the first time I heard it. Oh. So in turn, I didn't like Kendrick. But then it's one of those things you got to really listen to it and understand what he's saying, and then you actually start to like it. And the musicality behind it, it's incredible. Yeah.
That album, bro.
Unlike anything else.
When it came out, I listened. The first night, I stayed up till midnight. I listened to it one time, straight through, no skips. Then it was so good. I loved it so much. I listened to it again. This is like a 2-hour thing of me just listening to it. Yeah. And I knew right there, like, you're supposed to give things a little bit of time, but I was like, this is gonna be my favorite album for years, and it still is to this day my favorite album, hip hop ever, and. That's because of that is why I give him that title of my favorite artist in hip hop because that album just resonates.
All right, so quick question. Okay, right? How many songs on an album has to be how many good songs on an album for it to be a good album?
That's a great question.
All
right,
all of them. well, optimally all.
No. If there's all or there's like one or two throwaways, whatever, then I think that's when you start to get into like that classic.
It depends. It depends on the number of songs. Like if today people are dropping Migos, Drake, they're dropping albums with 25 songs. Yeah, and so half of them are terrible.
Right. So you have that Drake's dropping 40, 35 albums, songs on an album. And half of them are decent, like the usual, and then some of them are just like whatever. Like he kind of just threw this on there. Yeah. But then you have like Pusha T or Kanye or Kanye and Cudi, Kiss He Ghost, like they drop a 7-song album, EP, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And so
you can listen to every single song.
It's weird though. It's weird though because this album has 7 songs. Just say 6 of them are good, right? And then Drake's album has 30 songs. But 15 of them are good. So how do you weigh which one is better? You know what I'm saying? I personally would go for the one that's better start to finish, regardless of the length. I think if an artist has a body of work that they feel like is better as a shorter runtime or whatever, then that's what it should be. But
like
I don't
if it's
think
long, by all means.
Yeah, like if an album has like, for example, like I don't want to keep using Drake as an example, but if Drake puts out an album, there's 10 songs. 2 of them is like God's Plan and Nice for What, just say, right? The rest are just ass. Just whack. Yeah. Right? You're going to say that's a great... Some people will be like, that's a great album. It had God's Plan. Like, nah, that's not a great album, though.
Just because he's like like the artist's best song comes off that album, it doesn't classify it as a great album.
You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't. Okay. That's not.
A great album is one you can listen to over.
If you can listen from start to finish an album with maybe like 1 or 2 skips, here and there, whatever, that's a good album.
Yes.
So your favorite album all time is what is it?
To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar.
Oh,
I don't skip a single song when I listen to that album. I could listen to it start to finish. I really. I mean, I skip songs here and there, but like if I could easily listen to it start to finish, no problem. Especially because the entire album is sequential and it goes from start to finish to tell like it's like a kind of story, and it's just really good. That's another thing I respect is when artists make the songs flow in and out of each other. They're not just throwing singles on an album. Yeah. And one song sounds one way, the next song sounds completely different. It sounds like it's from 2 different albums. Like I think that all these albums should be looked at like a painting, you know, like just their own individual thing, and they should all have their own theme and their own sound to it. And
or like a movie. If you're watching a movie that feels like 5 different movies, you're not gonna enjoy it.
It's not a good movie. You're gonna the tone's gonna get, you know, the pacing, everything's gonna get off. So that's why I like that album. Kanye is great at doing that too. Like College Dropout, he has like the interludes in between the people talking and stuff like that.
Yep. See, I think he's great for that though.
He's one of the first. Well, he's not one of the first people that did that, but he's
one of the ones who made it big.
Start though, he was heavy on that from the start. A lot of artists they wait till their 3rd, 4th album to really start experimenting and do like stuff that's out of their genre or out of their comfort zone because they don't want to lose their following, you know. So that's something that Kanye was really good for. Like he made 808s and Heartbreakers album that he made that people don't really like. I love it, but people don't really like it because it sounds so different. It's very like techno, very electronic, but
a lot of auto-tune.
But now you see artists straight auto-tune 24/7.
See, my big thing with Kanye too is I think he's someone who takes chances.
Yeah,
a lot of rappers play it extremely safe.
Right, he's
but
not one of
when
those,
you look, one of his best songs all time, Jesus Walks.
Jesus Walks. You know,
it's completely.
I'm not gonna go listen to no Christian rap. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah,
but Jesus Walks is a dope song.
Yeah.
So and it's I mean it's religious. You know, it's based in religion. It's obviously different kinds of religious music.
Even his first song was Through the Wire.
Through the Wire.
Amazing.
Talks about getting into a car accident. Like that's not cool. Especially back in the day, people were. It's less so now, but back in the day, people really only cared about like putting on like a hood persona or like being hard and having street cred and shit like that in music. And he's talking about being in an accident, being scared for his life. His families were in the hospital crying for him. Like that was not cool. He did it. And it's just as good now as it was back in the day. That's why Kanye's great.
Yeah.
But when it comes to you, so I was saying in the beginning, right? So we were having a conversation in this group chat we have, right? And people were trying to voice their opinions. There's some people in the group chat, I'm not gonna say any names. You know who you are. Or talking about how they are more of a fan of like the new age stuff, the Lil Uzis, Travis Scott, Migos of the world. Like that's cool. Like I said, it has its own lane, and I respect it as its own thing, and I listen to it on a daily basis. I'm not one of those people I don't listen to that shit. Like I'm not one of those people.
I'm partly one of those people. Like I don't listen to that much trap music.
Yeah.
Like I give it a try, and I have listened to a bunch of stuff, but certain artists like. For example, they were talking about Die Lit, Playboi Carti.
Right.
I listened to Playboi Carti's first album. I hated it.
Yeah.
So why would I listen to Die Lit?
Well,
everybody's telling me it's amazing. I'm not gonna listen to it.
That when you're viewing it, I think your problem is, and I'm not faulting you for this because I'm like this too. When you're comparing it to like a classic, when you have that.
Yeah. But you kind of have to have that mentality.
No, of course.
I could listen to amazing.
Right
stuff. Why would I settle for the stuff that's out now?
It could be just me lowering my standards, but I look at it as a completely lower standard when it comes to storytelling and all this other stuff. Like it doesn't even encompass any of that. So like, when I listen to Lil Uzi, Amigos, or Travis, or anything like that, like, I'm not even worried about what they have to say or anything. Like, it's something that I want to play in the car, like, just, you know what I'm saying? I'm outside. Like,
that's music you play before you're about to go to, like, a party.
Right,
yeah, like that.
People
that's
I'm not looking for, like, a story to be told to me. Like, that's why I removed myself from that. At first, I was like that, and then I was like, this is ass. But then when you start to, like, just take it for what it is, then you can appreciate it. But when people start to, you know, then cross those subgenres together and say, okay, here, Migos is better than this person, that's when I kind of start to get like, all right, like, let's pump the brakes a little bit, because there's different levels to it. They were trying to tell me that they think Travis Scott is a better artist than Kendrick Lamar, but Kendrick is a better rapper. Now, I sort of see where
I can see where they're coming from,
like,
but they don't. But they're not.
But I just disagree.
Fully grasping.
I just disagree
what they're saying.
My reason for that being, I'm not even sure if Travis writes his own music.
He doesn't.
I know Kendrick writes his own music. I'm not sure if Travis writes his own music. All three of his albums to me are the same kind of music. They're upgrades in quality. Like, Rodeo is better than Birds for me, and then Astroworld is better than Birds. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's different levels of quality.
See, but those are three really good albums.
They're all great, in my opinion. Like, I like them for what they are. I love them. You know, I own all physical copies.
See, but if an artist is coming out with multiple albums that are really good, he has to be up there.
No, Travis is a great artist. He's a great artist.
But he's no Kendrick Lamar.
I would never mention him in the same
Firstly, he has 3 albums, and like you said, there's an up and down sort of flow to it. There's Rodeo, it was amazing. Then there's Birds, it was pretty good. And then there's Astroworld, was really great. But then there's Kendrick Lamar, who has Section 80, amazing. Good Kid, Mad City, amazing. Pimp a Butterfly, even better. Right. And it just gets better. Yeah. Well, damn, it's still amazing.
There's just there's just creative levels to it. Like, the only people I'm comparing to Kendrick in the current, like, group of that, you know, I would say traditional style of hip hop is, like, you know, you got J. Cole. I'll give people Drake. I don't put him there, but I'll give people the Drake thing, whatever.
Okay, wait, real quick. When we're talking about this right now, on if this person's better than this person, are we taking everything into account?
Yes, I am.
Everything.
I'm taking everything into account. Because I don't think you guys are understanding how popular Kendrick Lamar is.
I get that. No, Kendrick is huge. But I think if you take into account, like, performances as well.
Okay.
You know, I've seen different style.
Right.
I've seen from country concerts to Lil Pump to Kid Cudi to Travis. Yeah. Okay, you know, I've seen a large variety of how concerts go and how performers go.
Drake, then I went to Ed Sheeran.
Yeah,
like, you know, I went to Childish Gambino, Anderson .Paak.
When it comes to different artists, performances, in my opinion, I don't think a hip hop artist could even compare to somebody who sings, who has a great voice.
There's different levels of creativity.
There's so many different levels.
Here's the thing too, like, and I get, this is the same thing I was saying about why there's a different lane, because when I listen to Travis, it's different than when I listen to Kendrick, because I'm not even worried about what they gotta say or the way it flows or the way it sounds or anything like it.
And it's 2 completely different moods as well.
Right. That's why it's hard to compare.
It is, okay.
When I look at your guys' videos of Travis concerts and I see other people's videos, he's kind of just on stage. His music's playing, but he's not even fucking singing.
Yeah, he's just jumping up and down.
And it's hype. It's cool in the moment, but, like, nobody should make the mistake of saying that he's a better performer or a better all-around artist than someone like, which I know you don't like him either, which I understand, Childish Gambino, because that dude's over there singing his ass off. He has all this choreography,
dancing,
you know, all these instruments at his thing, and it all comes together live in front of you, as opposed to just Travis Scott. I'm playing my music. There's a fucking bird in the sky.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that.
Coasters and stuff.
You know, and like I said,
you know, I mean,
it's a great concert to be at, but I don't think that requires the same level of creativity that someone who is putting all these, you know, this orchestra.
It's just the aesthetic, the flashiness about it, and that's awesome.
It's a great. No, I wish I would have went to the actual tour because it looked dope.
Yeah,
like it looked really dope.
See,
really
but
dope.
someone that we could put in categories with, like, Kanye and I don't know, really Kendrick. I guess maybe.
I think Travis is more similar to a Kanye than someone like a Kendrick Lamar. I'm not saying quality-wise, but if we're going to group people, his music... No, I don't think that. Yeah,
what did you say? What did you say?
No, I said if you want to really group people together, I think Kanye as an artist is more of, like, in that Travis Scott area now than what Travis
okay.
Kendrick, because Travis and Kendrick's music is so far apart from each other.
Yeah.
And for a while, at least early on in his career, I felt like Travis was trying to be like the new age Kanye West.
Well, I mean, I feel like we have to wait for this new album for Kanye. Who knows when it's going to drop?
Yeah, well,
But
it's
I
gonna be
don't have to wait for it.
his
because-
albums just change. I feel like
okay. So
they change so much with him.
This is why I like Kendrick Lamar so much. I don't think you guys gave him enough of a listen. His first
No.
Section 80 is he talks about
It's insane.
weird, crazy shit like drug addiction,
A lot of
and
politics stuff also.
political stuff, absolutely shit like that. Second album, Good Kid, Mad City, which is he talks a lot about his hometown. It's a different sound already. He talks about gang violence and shit like that. It's very authentic to like West Coast rap. So that's another thing. That's when he first like got big. He did like Swimming Pools, Mad City,
That's it.
Bitch Don't
I
Kill
like
My
Swimming Pools.
Vibe. Swimming Pools is a great
So,
song.
yeah,
So, amazing, yeah.
Poetic Justice with Drake. right?
Mad City was good. Another one. Yeah, those are all good songs.
Right.
No, I like all of them.
No, so
I
I'm saying-
think I truly think their problem is like the people that we're referring to is our friend
I
group
don't
that
think
we
they're
were in
giving
this
it an
argument with.
opportunity.
They're not giving
I
it
don't
the
think they're
Is
giving
we
it
have a lot of
objective-
people in our group that think that Lil Pump, 6ix9ine, Uzi. Well, I mean I love Uzi, but those kind of rappers are some of the best all time.
Right. That's my problem. It's not like that.
Yeah.
They're in their subgenre, they are the best ever. Sure, you can say that if you want. If you want to say Lil Uzi's the best at what they do, Migos is the best at what they do, Travis, sure, you can compare them to each other. But when you're comparing them to Jay-Z and all these other people, like that's just like that's not.
It's also
fair.
it's disrespectful.
That's
as
like
well
that's
to
literally
those
like
artists and
that's
what they've
literally
done.
like
It's just
comparing.
wrong.
It's like comparing fucking Michael Jordan to Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's just different. Like it's
Yeah.
completely different
no,
criteria
absolutely.
and different accomplishments and everything that has to go with it. So,
There's just a higher level of
You just
artistry
gotta be
with those
objective.
guys.
yeah, like, and I was saying every artist for Kendrick has been so every album for Kendrick rather has been so different. You go from like I said, Mad City. Then he took 2 or 3 years off, dropped To Pimp a Butterfly, which was literally a jazz album with he raps over jazz beats. That's literally what the
Basically,
album is, and that's my favorite because I just love that sound. And he took some more time off. He released Untitled Unmastered, which people don't like, but it's just like a lot of more jazz, super
like it.
jazz stuff. I love it.
It's not really an album. It's just kind of leftover
Throwaway
songs.
tracks, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Damn, which was the more I
Yeah,
think
well,
he
Dan-
realized
I think what people don't really realize with Dan is that he uses the sound of the modern era.
Yeah.
The trap beats, the crazy, those types of sound, the
I think
different
he thought
melodies
that
and
was-
auto-tune.
yeah.
But he has the conscious layers to it and the lyricism to back it up. And
dude,
it's
that
amazing.
album still, and like I was saying about albums going and songs feeding in and out of each other, like they
But anyway, pick
Alright,
up. Let's go.
So, what I'm trying to say is, Damn is when Kendrick, I think, because To Pimp a Butterfly was his experimental album, which won Grammys anyway. Damn is when he kind of realized, I don't think people are taking me seriously and in the mainstream enough. And then he showed that he can, at this point, he showed he can make literally any kind of music he wants to and it'll still turn out good. And that's why I think that him compared to other artists, it's just not even
It's
a
not even
discussion.
a
In my
comparison.
opinion, it's just not even close. Like, Damn is not even my second favorite Kendrick album. It's not. I love them all, but it's not. It's
Third.
Butterfly,
That's it, third.
and then Good Kid, Mad City, and then Damn is my third favorite. And I still think Damn, being my third favorite, one of my least favorites of his albums, is better than most artists could ever even think of putting an album
Absolutely.
together. And I'm not even trying to exaggerate. Like, that's what critics said too. It's like people say, "Oh, Drake's more successful." Blah blah. That album sold like crazy. The song sold like crazy.
So
Like,
Damn's your least favorite Kendrick album?
not my least favorite, but
It's not your favorite.
it's not my favorite.
Okay.
No, not by any
No.
means. No. And
Well, I feel like that album. Really
I think
had,
I think Dan
no, it's
is-
great though.
it just
It's
had
great.
one, like
It's great.
radio song.
It's great.
I would say.
It
No,
had a
right?
few. Had a few.
Love, the song Love.
Loyalty, love,
Loyalty, DNA.
DNA, humble.
Humble. Well, I just feel like Humble was the biggest song. on
Humble
that
was
album.
the first single.
It was the single,
That was
yeah.
the first
Yeah.
single that he dropped.
And that was so different. Like when
That's
it
what I'm
dropped, people
saying.
were losing their minds.
Yeah.
It was just crazy.
So that's why I just feel like he's mad versatile and he it can cross over to so many other genres. He had a song with Taylor Swift. Well, I mean, he just rapped on it, but like, there's not many artists that have that kind of like crossover appeal,
Mhm.
you know. So that's why I think Kendrick's the best. But I would love to know why you don't think Kendrick is a good artist,
All right. So
because that's very.
I feel like the way that All right. For me, I put Kanye so high up
Fair.
on the poll to where I don't think people. Now this is just me, okay? Everyone knows that, like, from my friends, I'm just a huge Kanye fan. I love Kanye, and this is more of a recent love for Kanye as well for me, because I was never into. Not that I was never into Kanye, but I just thought he was good.
What got you into it though?
I started listening to old school music, like NWA, LL Cool J, stuff like that, and I started loving that kind of music.
Okay.
So I started giving that whole music a feel. Then I started getting more into. I got into like the 80s. Then I got into the 90s. Yeah. And then I just wanted to give everything a listen.
Yeah.
Because
I can see where you're going already, because he sort of adopted that, but changed.
Well, he was one of the first ones. He bridged the gap.
He bridged the gap.
You know?
So I just started listening to everything just to see how. Okay, it's the weirdest thing. I was bored one night. I was like, let me see where music really started to change. So I went all the way back to when my mom started listening, like a children's story and yeah. So. And I just kept coming.
Well, I can't really go that far back because that music's a little corny. You know, like it's a little dated.
It's a little outdated.
From back then to now,
it had to be made.
That's what started it. It started it.
It's still fire though. Eric B. Rakim, that sort of stuff, amazing.
Yeah, so that's just where it started. So
I'm talking about like that.
Well, yeah,
far back.
Yeah,
like, go ahead.
So then I branched into late '90s, early 2000s because my dad loves Biggie. So then I started listening to that, and then I started listening to Jay-Z, and I love Jay-Z. I used to say Jay-Z was one of my favorite artists, and then I just started listening to Kanye, and I just started listening to Kanye, and I think that as I just got older, I was able to understand a lot more of where he was coming from, and I understand now, like, because when his mom was alive, his music was out of this world. Kanye's music was fantastic. Then his mom passed, and his music got a little bit darker, and he got more depressed.
Yeah, well, he also started to get more into like Hollywood and shit like that. He started going out with like Amber Rose and like eventually Kim Kardashian, and he kind of lost.
He changed completely.
Yeah.
You know, and his music took a turn. But I think once you're able to understand where he's starting to come from. And I understood a lot more. The Jay Leno interview.
Oh, the Jay Leno.
The Jay Leno interview. David Letterman. David Letterman. My bad. Once I saw that interview, that's when Kanye became my favorite, and that's recent. That's a month or two. Whatever. Mm-hmm. That's when he became my favorite. He's always been up there because I always started listening to him, but that's when he officially became my favorite because he started to describe just what he went through and how. He makes music like he's just like okay.
He's really expressionistic.
Yes,
he's just expressing his thoughts through
that interview. Right, he's probably very relatable. I don't get that feeling from his music anymore.
No,
his first 2-3 albums. Graduation is one of my favorite albums ever. Just like the way he talks and the way his music is, it just felt a lot more personal and relatable. Mm-hmm. And it just resonated a lot more. And now he's just like he kind of raps about rich people stuff, and I don't really feel it the same way.
He tried with Kitsy Ghost and
it's not as like poetic.
But the sound itself, the sound itself just took.
He used to have a poetic feel to it, and I felt like he had more direction. And now that's why he kind of sort of lost me. I'll never discredit what he did his first. 5
I mean,
albums.
I think he literally just stopped being amazing after Watch the Throne.
I just think that he's in a different place in his life, which is fine, and his music is still good. I'm not saying it's still bad, but it's just not this. It doesn't have the same impact that it did.
I don't think it's still good at all.
At the start,
I hated Yeezus.
Ye had like 2 good songs on it.
I think he's capable of making good beats still, but not like amazing beats anymore. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. I just feel like he's not in a creative zone to write about stuff that people want to hear anymore.
See, okay, when I hear people say that, right, I just think that because I had this too, right, where I was so used to his older music and what he was that at first I wasn't even open to like once he started changing his music.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm like, what is this? You know, the old music is so much better, which it was, but then once you just start taking into account, like, you know, he isn't that same person anymore. Mm-hmm. You know,
that's fine.
And you start. Okay. So, but anyway, okay, let me get back to Kendrick, right? So. I feel like I can relate way more with Kanye than I could have ever related with Kendrick.
Okay, that's fair.
I'd agree with that.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. That's fine. That's subjective. Like that's your situation. Everyone's gonna take the music in differently. What I'm saying is, because you're trying to tell us that Kendrick was better than Travis, or you said that you were like, I don't really like Kendrick. I just want to know why. Have you given his music like an actual thorough listen?
The first album that I fully listened from start to finish with Kendrick was what's the
Simple Butterfly?
No,
Damn.
Damn.
Okay.
And I didn't like it.
You didn't like it.
So
do you remember what you didn't like about it specifically, or was it just you just weren't feeling it?
I just wasn't feeling it at all. But he had like one or two songs that I liked, right? But like you were saying before, when you hear the like one album off someone and you don't like it, you don't even want to give the other ones a listen.
Yeah, I get that. He's, in my opinion, he's one of the only artists that doesn't really matter though, because like I said, all his albums. I keep saying artists. All his albums are so different.
They are.
So different. So you might like one of his albums and hate the other.
I had the benefit of when I first wanted to actually listen to him. I remember it was the day of high school. I literally listened to all of his albums on the same day, leading up to like one of the days before Damn.
Yeah. So
and it was crazy.
I don't know. I feel you on the Kanye shit though.
I'm just someone as well that when I like something, I really like something. Mm-hmm. Like. I like the Vikings. I really love the Vikings. Like, I know. I just once I get a liking to something, I just learn about everything, about it.
Yeah.
I just want to know because I want to be able to fully back up my liking for it.
As you should. I'm glad you do that because a lot of people don't do that.
A lot of people don't.
A lot of people don't do that, especially with a lot of these newer artists though. There's not even much to like about him. Like, there's not even much background for you to get educated on. You know what I'm saying? You could read up on Kanye's background and his story and his history as a producer and people he used to work with. Like, what history am I going to learn about Lil Pump? No disrespect. Like I said, it's his own lane, but like, what am I going to learn about it?
Harvard dropout.
Like, what am I going to, there's no fun in that. You get the music, that's it. There's nothing else to it.
Yeah. And I'd like to close my argument with that. I think the whole reasoning for that nowadays is people just want something and then be done with it fast.
Yes.
Instead of really listening to it and listening to it multiple times. Kendrick album, I could listen to Kendrick's album so many times and still gain stuff out.
Yeah.
The first time I realized that with rap was the song Drug Dealers Anonymous with Pusha T and Jay-Z.
Okay.
It came out like 3 years ago. Yeah. And every single time I listened to it, I gained something else from what they were saying. It's just crazy the amount of levels and layers to each bar. It's crazy. That's real hip hop.
Whether it's a line or sometimes you'll hear a song
that strings multiple lines.
Right, and then next year you'll listen to the same song, but you'll feel a different way about it based on wherever you're at in life, or you know what I'm saying. That's to me is how I can gauge what artists are for real and what artists
there's multiple levels to music. For me,
and I don't want to be that dude, like that critical dude, super nitpicky, but like music is, there's so many. Music is such a wide thing. I feel like when people just condense it, you're doing it an injustice.
Yeah.
So that's just how I feel about it. Like, Kanye is one of those artists, though. I'm not disrespecting. I love Kanye. I love all Kanye's music. I he kind of lost me recently, but he's explored music more than anyone I can think of.
It's hard to say that people are taking in music the wrong way, because there's no wrong way to take in music.
Yeah.
You listen to it, or you like it or dislike it, but they really are. They're listening to it the wrong way, at least for certain people, like Kendrick Lamar. Like,
Yeah.
Damn isn't his pinnacle album. I would say go back and listen to Good Kid, Mad City, all the way through. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. So that's all I got to say.
See, I think a lot of... I'm so open to a change in artists where I don't look for the same style music from the same... I want I want a person to drop one album and, I want Kanye to drop an album, love it completely, then he drops the next album and it's completely... Like, if Kanye dropped an album and it was completely about, like, his whole Sunday service thing...
That's what I'm hoping for.
Like, a whole gospel album, I would listen to the whole album.
I really hope that's what y'all
that's what I'm hoping
That's my biggest hope, and that's my biggest problem with artists who drop 3-4 projects a year because I'm like, dude, like there's
the
no
same
way
stuff.
you're putting different thoughts into
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah.
It's all the same music with 4 different names on an album.
Real
like,
great music takes time to make.
right.
That's just a fact.
Drake
Travis
gets-
Scott took like 3 years to make Astro World.
and it was a great album. I
Yeah.
had doubts about it. I thought maybe it's not gonna live up to the hype because there was a lot of hype on it, but it did though. And so, you know, and that's why I was a huge Drake fan for many years. Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, So Far Gone, Thank Me Later. These are great albums from early in his career, but he kind of just lost me because now all his songs sound the same to me.
They
Super
do.
repetitive.
They do.
Really-
They
That's
do
because
sound
he
the
drops
exact same.
an album or a collab album or something every year or twice a year, and his singles are always on the
And it's
radio.
just
And
so
I
many
just get so
songs.
tired of it, dude. I'm so sick of hearing it. Like I want him
Me
to
too.
take 2-3 years off and make an album with the kind of music that he wants to make instead of the music that he knows people are trying to hear now, which is just making this repetitive trap BS that he's making. Because he's shown to me that he's more talented than what he's been putting out, and it's frustrating because.
Even if he dropped like an album a year, just make it shorter.
Just make
and
it
just
shorter.
work more on
You know,
the individual
and
songs.
but at the same time,
See, and he's always dropping singles.
Right.
He's always.
that when you get to that level of success, it's kind of hard to turn down the money and
Yeah,
the
that's
sales.
what it is.
That's
They
the
get money
problem.
hungry, and
Sure.
they know that
So-
they're gonna make so much money off
Right.
of this album.
So
and-
I can't fault him for that. I'm not gonna say, hey, dude, stop making money. Because no matter what Drake drops, there's songs that I don't like, and I hear them, and I'm like, this is just mid, you know. But people eat it up, and that's fine, you know. Whatever. Drake's an icon, sure, have that. But I just want better quality music. Like I don't want
No doubt.
15
Yeah.
Drake albums. I want 4 Drake albums that are all amazing. You know, I don't
Yeah.
want 15 albums that are just average.
Yeah, you can take a couple songs from each. And,
Yeah, like for
you
what?
know.
You know what I'm
see,
saying?
you know what got me really mad is when Jay-Z dropped. What was the last time he dropped?
444.
444. When he dropped that album,
Yeah.
right away, people were so quick to bash it.
So quick because
So
of the
quick.
sound. It's not a
Because of
it's
the
not a
sound.
trap
Yeah.
album. It's
Right.
not like some
And he
modern
doesn't. If
stuff.
you listen to the lyrics too, not only does it not sound like that, but he doesn't talk about any of that BS. He's even on that album on a lot of he's talking about why that shit is not cool. You know,
Yeah.
like why we shouldn't
And
be rapping
he-
about that.
He's
No
such an intelligent rapper.
Mhm.
Jay
He's an
Z
intelligent
is
man.
extremely smart, and he's not using all the slang words that we're using. He's using words that the people listening, they have no idea what they mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, this album's
It
horrible.
sucks.
It sucks."
Jay-Z started off as, and I'm sure I wasn't around, so I'm sure back in the day, dudes that came before him were saying, oh, forget this, he's rapping about all this BS, drugs,
Yeah.
and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Now
But
he's
he was
on the
about
other
that.
side, and he's saying, listen, like, I saw it from both sides. That stuff's not important.
That was-
Invest your money, you know what I'm saying?
It was a
Do
real
this, do
grown-up
that.
album, like a mature album
Right.
for Jay-Z.
He's like, oh,
Yeah.
I regret cheating on my wife. Like, what rapper you know is going to rap about that on an album?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Nobody.
not happening. So
Would
that's
you like that
why
album?
I love
Love
that
it.
album.
Yeah.
I love that
It's
album. I
incredible.
thought it was perfect.
I don't like the last 2 songs that much, but
Yeah.
the whole,
I
as
thought
a
it was
whole, it's
perfect though
great.
because I mean I would have loved Jay-Z to come out with an album that sounded the way his old music does,
Mhm.
but I'm glad he came out with something that sounded.
See, I feel like that's a huge thing that all of us do, though. We all want that album.
Yeah.
That we miss the old style of
no,
those people.
for sure. But
You
when
know,
you get
we're
something
always
that's
looking-
good,
yeah.
you can forgive it. Like
Yeah.
you know whatever, I'm cool with this. And
Yeah.
so like, you know, it resonated with me today, but I'm sure down the line when I'm older and at a more mature point in my life, I'll get that album a lot more than I do now. Even you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
And a lot of other people will do the same thing. They're gonna look back and be like, "Why the hell was I listening to this BS?"
absolutely. It's
You
Yeah,
know,
no,
and
we're-
they're
I'm
gonna
sure it
appreciate it then. They're gonna appreciate it then, but you know, and
that music doesn't last. The great music is music
It's
that stands the
timeless.
test of time.
timeless.
That's timeless.
That's
exactly.
that's the criteria I hold it against. You know, that's why I would never make the mistake of saying like, as much as I love the Migos too, but I'm not gonna say that Culture is like one of the best albums ever because it's just not. Like it just isn't.
It was
Yeah.
actually one of the best albums of 2017.
It was a great album.
Yeah, it was.
Don't get me wrong.
Culture 2 is terrible.
Don't get
I don't
fucked
care
up.
what anyone says. That album is
Too long.
Culture 2 is terrible.
Too long. Cut it in half.
Couldn't have probably be pretty good.
But yeah, so that's basically where I'm at with that.
Alright. Final thoughts
On that topic.
Final thoughts for me. Give real music a listen.
Facts.
That's
That's it. That's all I ask
That's
from people.
legit it.
That's all I
Just-
ask from people. You know, like that's all I ask.
You know.
just give it a chance, man. If you listen to it with an open mind and you don't like it, sure, it's not for you.
just
But don't write it
and
off
listen
in
to
advance.
everything.
So, yeah.
not just if you guys are sitting at home right now and before you watch this, all you have listened to was just strictly rap.
We're
Just
we're talking
expand.
about hip hop, but
We're talking
I don't
about
listen to
hip-hop,
hip hop. I probably listen to a collection of other genres more than I listen to hip hop at this point.
Once you open your variety of music and you start listening, I'm not telling you to go listen to country or go listen to an orchestra, but just once you expand your variety of music, you appreciate the good music a lot more.
Yeah.
Okay? Even now, if you're just strictly rap, just go back and listen to the old rap and just listen to how things have changed, and you appreciate the old rap and the new rap, and you can just gain so much more from it.
If you think about it like food, you want to open your palate. You want to try everything that you can. It's not you don't eat pizza every single day.
You want to visit as many countries in the world as you can. You don't want to stay in the United States forever. I mean, maybe you do, but I don't. No. So like that's it. As great as this country is, nobody wants to stay here forever. Everybody wants to go to France. Everybody wants to go to Spain. Like there's a reason for that. Like you gotta, and you're not gonna know how great it is until you go there. That's always how I look at it.
No
so,
all right, well. That ends that part of SpitBall.
That part.
I'm gonna leave.